أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا آمين يا رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Okay, so we are starting Mudhaf, and Mudhaf is a new topic not related to Mahmouz at all. And I feel that this is a simple topic, inshallah. And I'll try to make it as simple as possible, and I'll try to divide it into, you know, 3 sessions so that everything we do it at a slower pace and each one of us is able to comprehend what we are doing together, inshallah. So, Mudhaf, who is going to tell what is the sigha of it? When we understand the meaning of the word, then it becomes easier for us to know that, okay, what does it means? Which family it is?
It is family 3.
It is family 3. Very good, Ismail. So we can say it is actually mudha'afun. And what is it from family 3?
اسم مفعول.
اسم مفعول.
Ism maf'ul, yes. Because the middle root has the fatha on it, so we can say that it is ism maf'ul. So basically, the meaning of Dod Ain Fa in family 3, it means to multiply or to increase. Okay, so when it is mudha'af, means ismul maf'ul from family 3, it means the one being multiplied. Or here we can say that we will see that one root is coming how many? 2 times. So one root is times 2. That is why the name of this irregularity is mudha'af. Okay, so generally we have studied that when it is mudhaf, it has to be the same root, means the second and the third root have to be the same. But actually mudhaf can be any of the 3 roots. 2 are the same, means the first and the third can be the same, the first and the second can be the same, or the second and the third can be the same. So we can have 3 combinations of mudhaf. When we are studying this topic, what it is, we study only the cases with the second and the third root being the same. Because what happens that when the second and the third roots are the same, then they merge with each other, or there is a idgham between the two of them. And because of that idgham, you will see a shadda at the end of the word, and that shadda is the problem creator. When the first root and the third root are the same, or the first or the second root are the same, there are very few examples of it. But then what happens that there is no irregularity, means nothing actually changed, it follows a normal pattern. So when we talk about mudhaf, we just talk about the second and the third root, because when second and the third root are the same, only then irregularities or the rules of mudhaf take place. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Then let us see, we have 3 or 4 rules. So first of all, look at the rules, what it is. First rule is very simple. It's just a way of writing with the shadda. When the first letter means whenever we say the first letter and the second letter, means we will talk about the roots, the second root and the third root. So when the second root is sakin, like I've given you the example of maddun. So the 2 dals are coming together. The first has a sukoon and the second has a haraka, means it has tanween on it. So then what do? We can write it with the shadda. So the first rule is just the writing style with the shadda, and I hope that everyone is clear with it. The second rule is, okay, so here from the rule number 2, actually the rules are starting. So when both the letters have haraka and the letter before it is a sakin. So the example of it, mim dal dal, if we take from babna sarab, so we will get the present tense, yan suru, yam dudu. So what do we see? That both the dal have haraka on it, but the letter before it, which is a meme, has a sukoon. In that case, what happens? That the first letter will give its haraka to the meme. So what will happen? That the first dal will give its dhamma to the meme, and the dal will become sakin, and then the two dals will merge. So what the original word was? Yamdudu. From yamdudu, it becomes yamuddu. The next example I have given, yafriru. This is bab daraba. So yafriru, both the ra have haraka, and the fa, the letter before it, has a sukoon. So what happens? The first ra has given its haraka to the fa, and then the two ra have merged, or we can say there is a idgham between them. They have merged together. So from yafriru, it becomes yafirru. Is rule number 2 clear to everyone? What happens?
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Sami. Did you say the first word was yamdudu and then it became yamuddu?
Right, yes. Yamdudu.
Okay.
Yamdudu. And then this first dal has given its dhamma to the meme, and the two dal have merged together, and it becomes yamuddu.
Okay, thank you.
Similarly, what happens here, again I will explain that two raws were having haraka. So the first raw has given its haraka to the fa, and the two raws have merged together, and from yafriru it becomes yafirru. Okay. So the rule number 2, I'll quickly repeat what happens, that when both the mudhaf, the same roots, have a haraka, but the letter before it is sakin, then the first root, the first same root, will give its haraka to the letter before it, and the sakin will become mutaharrik, and itself it will become sakin, and then the two same letters will merge together. We will do a more exercise of this, and inshallah it will be clear to everyone. Okay, then we have the third rule. In this third rule, there are two cases. What happens when both the two letters have haraka on it, and then what is happening, that even the letter before it has a haraka. So what will happen, that the first letter will lose its haraka and will become sakin. Like I have given the example, ha, za in family 8. So if we put ha, za in family 8, the normal word will be ihtazaza. Okay, ihtazaza. Now what happens? Uh, both the zas have a haraka, and this za cannot give its haraka to the letter before it because already there is a haraka on it. So what it will do, the first za will lose its haraka. So this fatha on the first za, it will lose it, and it will become sakin, and then the two za will merge. So we can write it with the shadda, and it will become ihtazza. Only what is happening, if we see that two letters are same, both have a haraka on them, and the letter before it also has a haraka, then the first same root will drop its haraka, and it will merge with the second root. So instead of this za having a fatha, now it will take a sukoon, and the two za will merge together, and it will become ihtazza. Ihtazaza become ihtazza. Okay. Then we have the second case. If the letter before is a mad. Mad is what? If the alif before the alif is a fatha, or a waw before the waw is a dhamma, or a ya before the ya is a kasra. So I have given two examples. First example is family 3, ha, jim, jim. Family 3, what will it become? The normal pattern is ha, jaja. Okay. So now this Jeem, again the same thing that happened in the previous rule, that the first jeem will lose its haraka and it will merge with the second jeem and it will become haja, and we can write it in this way, like with a shadda on merging the two jeems together. Okay, similarly when there is a vaw and before the vaw we see it's a dhamma, so this is a mad. So this is the passive, the past passive. So it normal version of it will be hujija. So hujija will become huja. The two genes first has taken a sukoon and the second remains normal, and then we can merge them and we can write it this way, huja. So are all the rules clear to everyone? It's just simple. And still if there is a confusion, you can quickly ask. We have to merge it. Whenever we see two letters are same, we have to merge them. If we see that the letter before is having a sukoon, then the haraka of the first same letter will go to it. If we see that the letter before it is already having its own haraka, then what will happen? That the first same root will lose its haraka and the two of the roots which are the same will merge together. So basically it is this rule. Okay, so rule 4, which is the last rule, it is the present tense which is ending in with a dhamma. When we are doing the Sarf Sagheer of the present tense, so all the present tense which is ending with the dhamma, they will have three forms. Means the majzoom will have three forms. We can say for now that the amar and the nahi will have three forms. What are the three forms? The actual is the um, if we take the normal form, let's start with family 3. So the past tense is haja, yuhaju. So from yuhaju, we go to the anta version, and the anta version is going to be tuhaju. Okay, from tuhaju, we see that the ending is having a dhamma. We want to make it majzoom. We cannot make it majzoom because if we give it sukoon, there will be two sakin together. Like the both of the genes will have sukoon and sukoon, then we will not be able to read them out. So in that case, what happens that the dhamma first thing it will change into a fatha, so it will become haja. When we are making the amar, so amar will drop the ta and make it majzoom. So one way of making majzoom is with a fatha, so it becomes haja. The other way of making it majzoom is to give it a kasra, so that becomes haji. And the third way of making it majzoom is just to open it, like the two genes open it up and then it becomes hajij. Similarly, in the nahi, we just have to put the la before it and make it majzoom. So the first version will be with a fatha, that will be la tuhajja. The second version will be with a kasra, la tuhaji. And the third version will be this opening up of the two same letters, or here we can say the opening up of the two genes. So that will become la tuhajij. Is it clear? Now, why is this gene taking like this? Why is the gene taking a kasra? Who will explain? Who will
That is the,
explain?
yeah,
Hmm.
that is the
Okay.
normal form of the family 3. It's like a jahada, like a jahid.
Exactly. Jahada, yujahidu. So yujahidu and from jahid. So
Yeah.
we will see the normal version, and in the normal version of family 3, the amar middle root takes a kasra. So this is why the kasra is coming in the third form. So this haraka on the middle root depends upon the family itself. It's not always going to be kasra. It can change according to the family here, because as Sister Shima explained that it's going to be jahid. So then it becomes hajij. Is there a question? Then you can ask. These are all the rules. Then we will get into the mazid feehi families.
I have a question in the rule number 3.
Okay. What is the question?
Uh, can you go down, sister? Down, a
This
little
is
bit
rule
down.
3. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
can go. Yeah, the example for the Hajja example. Yeah. So in this, whenever you have the third and the fourth, the second and the third harka is both are same, even then it becomes, it carries a shadda. And in jujija, in this also, even there
Hujija.
is harka, yeah, hujija, sorry, hujija, you have the kasra and the fatha in the second and third letter. So even then
Yes,
it is becomes
we will
combined.
not consider whether both of them have the same haraka or both of them have different haraka. The rule is that the first one will drop its haraka. So this
Okay.
one, the two letters are the same. Irrespective of what the two of them have the harakas, you will just drop the haraka of the first jeem. So the first jeem will become sakin, and now you will write it with the shadda and do the idgham, so it becomes hajja. Okay, here it was a first has a kasra and the second has a fatha. Irrespective of the harakas, what you will do, you will see both of them are mutaharrik. Okay, so the first one will lose its haraka. The first wajim will become sakin, and then the two of them will merge together, and you get hujja. Is it clear?
Yeah, jazakallah khair.
The same thing is happening in the this one as well. You see, this example of family 8. The first za and the second za, before it was a haraka, and then they have the first one lost its haraka and they merged together. So this is what basically it is. If there is a question, quickly ask, then we will go to the Mazid Fihi families. Okay, in family 2 and in family 5, because already the middle root was having a shadda, so there is not going to be any change. Only in family 2 and family 5, we will not see any change. In the rest of the families, we will see some changes and we will talk about them, inshallah. So, family 2, the root words are kha, fa, fa. Okay. So this is the Sarf Sagheer, yes, and there is absolutely no change in it. We can look into the normal version so that everyone is on the same page and no one has a problem. So what's allama yu'allimu ta'aliman fahuwa mu'allimun, ullima yu'allamu ta'aliman fahuwa mu'allamun, al-amru minhu allim wa nahyu anhu la ta'allim wa zarfu minhu mu'allamun. Now this I told you to revise it. Even if you haven't, you can just quickly look at the screen and then you can compare. So now we will see kha, fa, fa. When we put it in family 2, what do we get? خفف يخفف تخفيفا فهو مخفف. خفف يخفف تخفيفا فهو مخفف. الأمر منه خفف ونهي عنه لا تخفف وظرف منه مخفف. Okay. Already the problem we have, or the change in the form, takes place when the ending takes a shadda. Now there is no change in the whole sarf because we don't see any shadda on the end. The last letter doesn't have a shadda. The ending is normal. So because the ending is normal, the whole of the sarf chart remains the same. So here we have no problem. Now we come to family 3, and now family 3 will have slight changes. Okay, let us see this chart and then we see how it is going to happen. Okay. Ismail, if you can read out this family 3 for us.
Okay.
Okay, Bismillah.
شاق يشاق شقاقا ومشاقة فهو مشاق شوق يشاق شقاقا ومشاقة فهو مشاق الأمر منه شاق شاقي شاقق ونهي عنه لا تشاق لا تشاقي لا تشاقق وضعف منه مشاق.
Okay, yes, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let us see the first line. It's shaqa, yushaqu, shiqaqan, wa mushaqatan, fahuwa mushaqun. Let's see it like one by one. So sheen, qaf, qaf, when we put it in family 3, it's going to be what? Shaqaqa. Okay, so now we see that before it is a mud, the two qaf will merge together. The first qaf is going to lose its haraka, and that it will become shaqa. Okay, then Yushaqiqu will become yushaqu. Okay, the first masdar is normal, shiqaqan, because already the two qaf are separated with the alif, so there is no problem in the first masdar. It remains the same. The second masdar, now the two qafs are coming together, so mushaqaqatan become mushaqatan. So again the two qaf are merging together. Okay, and then the ismul file mushaqiqun. Now we see that two qaf are coming together and then they will merge. The first one will lose its haraka and here will come a shakra. Okay, so then it becomes mushaqun. Is the first line clear to everyone? What is happening so far?
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Samia. You know the present tense, should that be yushaqu in the brackets? Dhamma on the yes.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes there can be a typing
No
mistake.
problem.
It is a dhamma. Okay, yes.
Samia, can you repeat the first line again, please?
This line? Okay,
Yeah.
the normal version, shaqaqa will become shaqa. The two qaf will merge together. The first one will lose its haraka. The second one will will keep its haraka, so that it will become shaqa. Yushaqiqu will become yushaqu. Similarly, the first qaf will lose its haraka and the second qaf will keep its haraka. They will merge together and the word becomes yushaqu. The masdar, first masdar will remain as it is, shiqaqan. The second masdar, which is mushaqaqatan, will become mushaqatan. Now again the two qaf have a haraka, so the first one will lose its haraka and will merge with the second one, then it will become mushaqatun. Okay, then ismul fa'il is going to be, the normal version is mushaqiqun. Then this qaf will lose its haraka and the two of them will merge and we will get mushaqun. Now we get to the passives. Its normal version will be shuqiqa, juhida, shuqiqa. Okay, so then it becomes, this one will lose its haraka and they will merge, that it will become shuqa. Yushaqaqu is the normal version and the qaf will merge and we get yushaqu. Then we have talked about the masdar, so we will not discuss it again. Ismul maf'ul will become, from mushaqaqun, it will become mushaqun. Okay, so now we see that ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul are same, right? Exactly the same. So it depends upon the context when we have to determine whether it is ismul fa'il, ismul zarf, and even the zarf, ismul zarf is going to be the same. Another thing that we see is exactly the same is what? This. Yushaqun means the present active and the present passive are again the same. So again, it depends upon the context of it, and sometimes the same sentence can be used in two ways, for active as well as for passive. We will look into it when we get to the examples for the day, inshallah. Okay, so we said that for the amr we will
Samia,
have G.
and also the amr and the past tense also same, one of the forms of amr.
Right, we are coming to it because we haven't done the amr, so when I come to it,
Yeah. Okay,
we will
sorry.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you are right about it. So when we come to the amr, so from yushaku, the anta form will be tushaku, and then the dhamma changes to a fatha. When it comes to a fatha, the first version we will get shaqa. Second version we will get with the qaf having a kasra, that is shaqi. And then the third one, we write it in the normal way, opening up the two roots, and then we get shaqiq. And as Sister Shima said, that now we observe that the past tense, past active form, and the first form of the amar is exactly the same. So again, it depends upon the context for us to be able to identify whether the sentence or the ayah is using the past tense or is it using the first form of the amar. Similarly, in the nahi, we will see the same thing. La tushaqa, first form with a fatha. La tushaqi, second form with a kasra. And la tushaqiq, the third form, opening up the two roots. La tushaqiq. And then the zarf is going to be exactly the same, which is mushaqun. So ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul and zarf are exactly the same. Then present active and present passive are the same. And then the past tense active form and the first form of the amr is the same. So we have some sighas which are merging in this form. Is this family 3 clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, Alhamdulillah, it's clear.
Okay, no
Well
problem.
explained, Samia. Alhamdulillah.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm saying you explained it very well. Jazakallah.
Ameen.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, if I'm able to explain. Okay. Now we come to family 4. Okay, let us see first the normal version. What is family 4? Okay. I forgot to show the family 3, doesn't matter. We can see what is family 4. Okay. So this is family 4. Aslama yuslimu islaman fahuwa muslimun. Uslima yuslamu islaman fahuwa muslimun. Al-amru minhu aslim. Wa nahyu anhu la tuslim. Wa zarfu minhu muslimun. Okay, we have to remember, because always family 4 is tricky. We have to remember that the past tense will start with the hamza qatai or the hamza with a fatha, and also the amr will have the hamza fatha of its own, or the pattern has it in it. Okay, so now let us see what is going to be the mudhaf for it. Okay, right. So now in family 4 we are putting the root words ha, ba, ba. Smile will read out this chart for us. Let me show it to you. Then I will explain what it is. Okay, Smile, please read it out for us.
Okay. أحب يحب إحبابا فهو محب. أحب يحب إحبابا فهو محب. لو منه أحب أحبي أحبب. والنهي عنه لا تحب لا تحبي لا تحبب. الظرف منه محب.
Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, so now again we will see what is the rule that is being applied over here. Okay, yes, Bismillah. So, Aslama, we will get Ahbaba. When we get Ahbaba, what happens similarly? We see that two ba have their own harakas, but the letter before it has a sukun. So the first ba will give its haraka to the ha, and then the two ba will merge together and we get ahbaba. Similarly, when we came to the present tense, it's yuhbibu, yuslimu. So we see that two bars have the haraka of their own. The letter before the ba has a sukun. So the first ba will give its haraka to the ha, and we get the sigha yuhbibu. Okay. The masdar will be on its same pattern, normal pattern, because between the two ba is the alif. So it will be the same. Islaman ihbaban. Fahuwa muslimun. Then we get what? Muhbibun. When it is muhbibun, again the ba will give its haraka to the ha, and the two ba will merge together. And what do we get? We get muhbibun. So this is the first line. Now we came to the second line, the line of the passives. Uhbiba. Uslima, uhbiba. Okay. Again, the ba will give its haraka to the ha, and the two bars will merge together. What do we get? We will get uhibba. Now the present passive, yuhbabu. Again, the ba will give its haraka to the ha, and the two bars will merge together. Then we get what? Sorry, it has to be at the ma. Yuhbab. Sorry, okay. Yuhbabu, yuhabbu. Yuhab. Wrong harakas. No, it's fine. Okay. Again, I will explain. Yuhbabu. Yuhbabu will become yuhabbu. And the ismul maf'ul Muhbabun will become, the ha will take the haraka of the ba and the ba will merge together. Then we will get muhabbun. So now the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul are having a difference, the same difference, like, but now we see that it's not the middle root, but it's the first root which will differentiate between the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul. Ha, baba, so ha is actually the first root. Now in Mudhaf, and family 4 especially, the first root haraka will tell us whether it is the ismul fa'il or it's the ismul maf'ul. If the first root is having a kasra, it is ismul fa'il. If it is having a fatha, then it's going to be ismul maf'ul, or it can also be the zarf. Now when we come to the amr and the nahi, the amr and the nahi again will have three forms. So what is the normal amr? Aslim. So this hamza is the hamza of the bab. So it will become, first one with a fatha, we get ahibba. Second one with a kasra, we will get ahibbi. And the third one will be normal, splitting up the roots, and aslim, ahbib. Okay. Then we come to the nahi. Again, the nahi will have three forms. First one with a fatha, second one with a kasra, and the third one is the splitting of the roots. So we get la tuhibba, la tuhibbi, la tuhbib, and the zarf is exactly the same as the ismul maf'ul. So the zarf is muhabbun. Is family 4 clear to everyone? And the rule that we have applied here is that the first root will give, the first same root will give its haraka to the letter before it, and then the two roots will merge. Family 4, is it clear to everyone?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I try to go it slowly, and I try to write as many things possible on the screen so that everyone can understand. Okay, again, because family 5 has no change. Why do you think there are no changes in family 5? We just discussed.
Because the normal family has shadda.
Okay. Yes, first of the thing is that the normal family has a shadda, and that shadda is on the middle root. The problem happens, or the problem occurs, or we see a change in the rules when the last or the ending of the word has a shadda. So here when we look at the ending of the word, all the words is normal. So hence it is not going to take any changes. It's going to follow the normal pattern. We can see what is the normal pattern, and then we will quickly go through it. Anyone wants to read family 5 can go ahead and read out this family 5 for us. Babit tafa'ul. Okay, Smile will read it for us. No one wants to.
تفرق يتفرق تفرقا فهو متفرق تفرق يتفرق تفرقا فهو متفرق الأمر منه تفرق والنهي عنه لا تتفرق والظرف منه متفرق.
Right, exactly. Now that we see that the present tense was having a dhamma in the end and there is no shadda, so even in the amar and the nahi, there is just one form, and it is everything is normal about this family. So Ismail, please read out this for us.
Okay.
Ain dal dal.
تعدد يتعدد تعددا فهو متعدد تعدد يتعدد تعددا فهو متعدد تعدد لا تتعدد متعدد.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So family 2 and family 3, family 2 and family 5, we don't have to worry about them. They are just going to follow the normal pattern. Now we come to family 6. Okay. The root words that we want to put into family 6 are ha, jeen, ji. Okay. Ismail, you can read out this one for us as well.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Let us first read the normal family so that everyone clearly understands. Then we will read out this mudhaf. Bab tafa'ul.
تعاون يتعاون تعاونا فهو متعاون تعو- تعاون يتعاون تعاونا فهو متعاون الأمر منه تعاون والنهي عنه لا تتعاون والظرف منه متعاون.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So this is the ta fatha family. We will see the extra ta over here. And also in the present tense as well as in the amr, the middle root will not take a kasra. It will take a fatha throughout because this is the ta fatha family. So this is something that we have to remember, and then inshallah we'll see what is happening in the mudhaf. So ta'awana, what are the root words we are putting in? We want to put in the root words ha, jim, jim. So ta'awana, tahajaja. Okay. So again we see that both the genes have haraka of their own, and before it is coming a mud. So the first one will lose its haraka and they will merge together. So what do we get? We will get tahaja. Present tense will become yatahajaju. Yatahajaju, again the two gene will merge together. This one will lose its haraka. This one, the second one will remain will keep its stamma, and we get yatahaju. Tahajujan. Okay. Again we see the two genes have their own haraka, so they will merge together. First one will lose its haraka, second one will keep its haraka. Then we get what? Tahajan. Okay, this is the masdar. Tahajan, then ismul fa'il, normal ismul fa'il will be mutahajijun. Okay, I've typed it wrong. Doesn't matter, I'll correct it quickly. Mutahajijun. Right. Mutahajijun. So again the two gene, first of them will lose its haraka and they will merge together. So we get what? Mutahajun. Okay, the rest of it I haven't done it. If someone wants to do it, how will we do the second line? Who wants to do this? How will we do this? Tuhuja. What was it normally?
Tuwin, tuwina.
No, with the same roots.
Oh,
Tuhujija, yes.
And then we will
To-
take the first gene and put it into the make it put it
We'll merge the two. Yes, we will
the
merge
gene
the
gets
two genes,
merged.
and then it will become
Right. Tuhuja.
tuhuja. Yes. Then what was this normally?
Yutahajiju.
Yutahajaju.
Jaju, because it's a Fatha family.
Yes.
No, this is the passives we are doing. Present passive
Passive,
always have the u a sound. So yutahajaju.
Jaju.
Yutahajaju, the two genes will merge together. We will get yutahaju. Masdar is the same that we have talked about. Okay. What is going to be the ismul maf'ul? Normal.
Mutahajajun. Jijun.
Yes. No, mutahajajun, because it's ismul maf'ul. Mutahajajun. And then we merge the two genes and we get mutahajun. Okay. So the two lines that we have done so far, what are the things that you see common? Is there anything that is any sigas that are merging?
File and the maf'ul.
Yes, only now in family 6, ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul are exactly the same. So again, it depends upon the context when we are doing it in the sentence or in the ayah. Okay, now when we look at the present past active and present passive, because it was starting with a fatha, it was the fatha family. So this is the distinguisher between the the present tense active will start with the fatha, and the present tense passive will start with the dhamma. So they are not the same. They have this slight difference. Starting, the ya will take a fatha in the active form, and the ya will take a dhamma in the passive form. Okay, again in the same way, the ismul file and ismul maf'ul, we will have three options for them. So tahaja, tahaji, tahajaj. You see now, why is the jeen taking a fatha?
Because it's a Fatha family.
It is the fatha family, and normal, even if we look at this, the normal version of it, it's ta'awan, ta'awan. Because it is ta'awan, so again when we split it up, it will have its original haraka, which is the fatha. So now it will become tahajaj. Similarly, when we come to the nahi, la tatahaja, la tatahaji, la tatahajaj. Okay, and mutahajun, it's exactly the same as ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul. So three sigas are same. Otherwise, the rest of them. Okay, another thing. Yes, exactly this. The first siga, the past active,
Past and
and the
Amar.
first form of the amar, again they are also the same. So tahaja can be the past tense for the huwa version, or it can be the first form for the amar for the antaf version. Okay, so these are the things which are overlapping. Otherwise, things are different, and it's, again we see it's all about the merging of the first and the second in same letters. Is there a question in family 6? Okay, then I'll go to family 7. Okay, so Ismail, you can read out for us the normal family 7, and then you can read out for us the mudhaf for it.
Okay. انقلب ينقلب انقلابا فهو منقلب الأمر منه انقلب والنهي عنه لا تنقلب والظرف منه منقلب.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Now let us see what do we have when it comes to mudhaf. Read out the mudhaf.
انشق ينشق انشقاقا فهو منشق انشق انشقي انشقق لا تنشق لا تنشقي لا تنشقق منشق.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So Ismail, you can explain it to the rest of the aunties and what is happening in family 7.
Okay. The normal pattern would be inshaqqaqa, but the
Right,
two coughs merge and the first cough gets its haraka removed, so it will be inshaqqa.
right, very good. Then present tense.
The normal pattern will be yanshaqiqu, but the two coughs merge and the cough loses its haraka, so it will be yanshaqu.
Very good. Okay.
For for the ism file, the normal pattern would be munshaqiqun.
Okay.
Because it is hard to read. The two coughs will merge and the cough with the kasra will be removed from there. And it will be munshaqun.
Munshaqo. Very good. Excellent explanation. Okay. So Ismail has explained very well. Um, Again, we see with the masdar what is happening, because the two calves, there is a alif between them. So there is no problem. It will be on the same inqilaban inshiqaqan. So it is the same, the normal version of it. There is no change in the masdar. Okay. So the first line, Ismail has explained. When we come to the second line, we don't have any passives because it's family 7. We come to the amr now. In shaqqa, so the dhamma changes to a fatha. First version of the amr we get in shaqqa, then we get it with a kasra in shaqqi, and then we get it the normal version when the two mudaf, the roots will split up, and it's going to be in shaqiq. Similarly, the nahi will be la tanshaqqa, la tanshaqqi, la tanshaqiq. وَالظَّرْفُ مِنْهُ مُنْشَقٌ. Okay. So again, what are the sighas we see that are merging? Are there any sighas merging?
The past
Okay,
and
the
the
past tense.
command.
Yes. Again, we will see here the same thing is happening. The past tense and the first form of the command are the same. Is there anything which is same? Anything else which is same?
Ism file and the darf.
Right. Ismul fa'il and zarf are the same. So both of them are munshakun and munshakun, because here we don't have any ismul maf'ul, but ismul fa'il and ismul zarf are the same. So these sighas are merging. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now we have family 8, and the root words we want to put in ha, za, za. But before that, let's quickly see what is the normal form of iqtaraba. Ismail, please read out for us.
Okay. اقترب يقترب اقترابا فهو مقترب اقترب يقترب اقترابا فهو مقترب الأمر منه اقترب والنهي عنه لا تقترب والظرف منه مقترب.
Yes, alhamdulillah. So let us see what will happen in Mudhaf when we come to family 8.
Okay. اهتز يهتز اهتزازا فهو مهتز اهتز يهتز اهتزازا فهو مهتز اهتز اهتزي اهتزز لا تهتز لا تهتزي لا تهتزز مهتز مهتز.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Now, so family 8, whoever wants to explain, I'm not even going to show you what I have typed before. Just look at the screen and explain the changes that are happening in family 8. Iqtaraba. So what will be the normal form and what is happening? Any sisters, any one of the sister can volunteer to explain.
So the ihtazza has the two zas. So we will drop one za and we will make it join the two together and make a shadda on it. It becomes ihtazza.
Yes, but what is the normal form before the merging?
Ihtazza. Ihtazza.
Ihtazaza, right? Ihtazaza.
So we will drop the one za.
Okay,
I
right.
mean, one fatha on it. Yahtazu, same thing. There was yahtazazu.
Yahtazizu.
Yahtazizu. We will drop the one. We will drop the kasra on one and join it with the second, merge it with the second, and make it shaddad. It becomes yahtazu.
Okay. What about the
Ihtizazan. Masdar is because of the alif. It can be read as ihtizazan.
Yes, so no change actually in the
No
masdar.
change. And then muhtazu. It's also muhtazazu.
No, muhtazizun. Muhtazizun.
Muhtazizun. And then the kasra drops and the first one merges with the second and gives it a shadda and becomes muhtazun.
Yes. Okay, good enough, Sister Zohra. Someone else can now explain the passive line.
Okay, I'll have a go. In the normal form, it would be tuziza for the passive, but
Okay.
the first za drops the kasra and merges with the second za, and you get tuzza. And
Right.
for the present, it would be normal would be yuhtazazu.
Right, very good.
And then we drop the fatha on the first one, and it becomes yuhtazu, and the masdar remains the same.
Okay.
And the maf'ul would be muhtazazun, but we drop the fatha on the first and merge it together. Muhtazun.
Alhamdulillah, very good, Sister Safina. Okay, would you like to explain the Amr and Nahi?
Again, we've got the three versions for the amrs. Ihtazza, ihtazzi, ihtaziz, where we've opened the zads up, opened the shadda up. And the same again for the nahiya, the three versions for it with the fatha, the kasra, and the sukun. And for the dharf, we have a normal would be muhtazazun. And again, the first side drops the fatha and we merge the two together to get muhtazun.
Alhamdulillah, yes. So again, in this family age, we see ismul fa'il, ismul maf'ul, and the zarf are exactly the same. Similarly, the past tense, fi'il madi, and then the amr, first form of the amr or the first version of the amr, they are again exactly the same. And then we have family 10, which is the last family for today, alhamdulillah. What are the root words? Qaf, ra, ra. So let us see what is the normal, regular family 10. Then we will talk about family 10 in Mudhaf. Okay. Ismail, please read out form 10 for us, family 10.
Okay. استغفر يستغفر استغفارا فهو مستغفر استغفر يستغفر استغفارا فهو مستغفر الأمر منه استغفر والنهي عنه لا تستغفر والظرف منه مستغفر.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Now, what is the mudhaf? Let's see what is. Okay. What is the mudhaf?
استقر يستقر استقرارا فهو مستقر استقر يستقر استقرارا فهو مستقر استقر استقر استقري استقرر ونهي عنه لا تستقر لا تستقري لا تستقرر أضاف منه مستقر.
Mustaqarrun. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now, who wants to explain what is happening in family 10? Now, it's becoming easier as we are practicing more and more families because the same rules are being repeated. Okay, Sister Asya, if you want to try, you can try the first line. We'll do it together.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, the first ra gives its haraka to the qaf, and then the two ra's merged, so you get istaqarra.
Yes, but what is the normal version without the idgham we will have?
Istaqara.
Istaqrara, yeah. Yeah, istaqrara.
Okay. Then present tense?
I'm sorry, sister. I'm just getting a phone call from the doctors. I'm going to need to take that. Sorry, I'll be just one moment.
I can continue. I mean, I can give it a try.
Yes, Afi. Okay.
Okay, so the present tense is yastaqriru. So two ra merges and it becomes yastaqirru. Istiqraran remains the same. Fahuwa mustaqirrun, and the normal version would be mustaqrirun.
Yes, very good, Afi. You can continue.
And then ustuqirra, the normal version would be ustuqrira. Yustaqarru, yustaqraru, and most of the remains the same, istiqraran, fahuwa mustaqarrun. The normal version would be mustaqrarun.
Mustaqarrarun, yes, alhamdulillah.
Okay,
Then
and
three versions for the amr.
For the amr is istaqirra, istaqirri, istaqrir, which is the normal would be, I think it's the same, istaqfir, istaqrir. Just same for nahi, la tastaqirra, La tastaqirri, la tastaqirrir. And the
لا
derf will
تستقرر.
la tastaqrir.
تستقرر.
Okay, so it will be la tastaqfir, yes. And then the derf will be mustaqarrun, which is mustaqarrarun.
No, مستقرر.
Mustaqrarun.
مستغفر. مستقرر.
Taqrarun, right.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So this is all that we have to do today. If there is a question in all the families, then you can quickly ask. Okay, only the one thing that I want to quickly go through, we'll go through quickly in all the families, that when we are splitting up, we have three versions in the Amar and the Nahi. So we have to be careful about what is the haraka. So in family 3, it's going to be a kasra, shaqiq, and la to shaqiq. Why? Because it is jahid and la to jahid. So looking at the family 3, the original form, this will take its haraka. Similarly, when we come to family 4, aslim, so it's going to be ahbib, and la tuhbib, la tuslim, la tuhbib. So again, the middle root has taken a kasra in family 3 and family 4. Now we come to family 5. Family 5 has no changes. It's just going to follow the normal pattern. Family 6. Okay, now let's see what is happening in family 6. Yes. So, al-amru minhu.
We can't hear you, Samia. Sister Samia. There's no voice, Sister Samia.
Just give me a minute. I was logged out. I'll share the screen in a minute. Just a minute, please. Oh. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So, did you hear about family 6? What I explained?
No.
Not all the way though. Some of them.
I will explain again. So in family 6, when we see, when we split up the roots, the first one, the second one, there is no problem. And when the Amar splits up, the middle root will take a fatha on it. Why? Because normal version we will see what it is. It is ta'awan. So tahajjaj. La tata'awan, la tatahajjaj. So the middle root haraka is important when we change the families.
So basically, the haraka on the ain kalma is important. So
Exactly, and yes, especially in the Amar and the Nahi, when we are
yes.
splitting up and we have three versions, then we have to refer to the original form.
Okay, yeah, that I was confused on that. So yeah.
Exactly, this is why I'm doing it again. So in family 7, these two versions, first one with the fatha, second one with the kasra, when we are splitting it up, what is the amru minhu for 7? In qalib. So in qalib, we get in shaqiq. La tanqalib, la tanshaqiq. So again, family 7 will go back to the normal form, and that form is taking the kasra on the middle root. Here we will see that when we splitting up the amar and nahi, it will take a kasra on the middle root. Family 8 is exactly the same. Iqtaraba, yaqtaribu, so iqtarib. If from iqtarib we get what? Ihtaziz. La taqtarib, la tahtaziz. So again, because the normal form was having a kasra on the middle root in the amr, and the nahi. So when we split up the roots, we get a kasra on the middle root in the amr and a kasra on the middle root in the nahi also. And the same exact thing will happen in family term also. Istaghfir. So we get istaghfir. La tastaghfir. La tastaghfir. So only I feel that this confusion was there when we split up the roots. Otherwise, you just have to follow the rules that we have done together, merging the roots. And sometimes one of the roots will, the first one will lose its haraka and they will do idgham or merge together. Is there a question so far? Okay, we have 7 minutes. We'll try to quickly wind up today, inshallah. Okay, so this is a gem, and probably if someone was us in the session we were doing this. Okay, alhamdulillah. The access to when we were doing this is a gem that Ustad Hussaina shared with us. So those of us, you who were with me, they remember that this is the ayah. It's from Surah Al-Baqarah, talking about when a divorce happened between the husband and the wife, and the baby is very small, and the mother is breastfeeding the baby. So how to deal with it? So the part of it we will talk about is this part. La tudara walidatim biwaladiha. So, okay, now when we look at this part, I have given the whole ayah. You can go through it when you want to, and the translation of it as well. So, who is going to identify the sigha of it and the family, the root words, everything?
Can I do it? I'm trying.
Anyone who wants to.
It's God,
What are the root words?
God, Ra.
Yes, dua, dura, ra, the root words.
It's family 6.
Is family?
3.
6.
See,
3, sorry.
there is a dhamma on the ta. Family 6 doesn't take a dhamma on the ta.
Yeah, it's family 3. And
And family 6 also need to have an extra ta. This is the ta of the harfi atan or the present tense letter, the anita letter. We don't see any extra ta, so it can never be family 6.
yes, sorry about that.
No, it's okay, but we have to be clear that why is it not family 6. So this is family 3.
Yeah. The original would be um, the Rora.
Okay, just leave the original one and just give us the form, the actual form that we get after the idgham.
Darira becomes Ra.
Yes, the raw will merge. Sister, there's a lot of noise in your background, like the windy sort of a noise.
And Sarah, if you can speak a little louder, please.
Maybe if everybody can mute their
I'll try to. I'll mute it. It is Zohra who is doing it. Sister Zohra. Okay. Okay, so we will get the first form, Zara. Then present tense will be
Yudaru.
Yudaru. Okay. Then,
Daroran.
yes, the Roran. Okay, I will type it later on. The Roran, just quickly, let us do it because it will take a lot of time. The Roran wa.
فهو مضار.
Okay, Mudorun. When we come to the passives,
Duro.
Duro, yes, Ra. And then Ra, Dura. Then,
Yudaru.
yes, exactly, Yudoru.
And then same Mudar.
ضرارا ومضارة
Mudar.
فهو
هو مضار.
Mudhaf, yes. Just a minute, let someone else do it. Al-amru minhu, who will tell the three amars for it?
It would be Dara, Dari, Darir.
Yes.
And the same with the Nahi will be La Tudara, La Tudari, La Tudarir.
Okay. Wazarfu minhu?
Dura, Dura,
Mudarrun. Okay. So
Mudara.
now, okay, now what is this siga? La tudafa.
It's the Nahi.
Yes, it is the nahi. Very good. This is the nahi for anta.
Yes.
And this is the nahi for anta. No, actually, this is the nahi for the hiya. Because why? Because this is the outside. We can say they actually there can be two ways of translating it. So the translation that we have right now, it says that no mother should be harmed through her child. So this is actually the translation is saying that this is a translation. Is it active or passive?
This is passive.
This is the passive, yes. This is the passive translation that no mother should be harmed. Similarly, the active version of it is exactly going to be the same. So when we take this is as mm, the passive, then what will walidatu becomes? It will become the
Naibul
naibul
file.
file. Naibul file for it, yes. And then the translation, we will get that no mother should be harmed for it. The similar way, we can take the same this and we can have an active form of it as well. So when we do the active form, what will be the translation?
Mother should not harm.
Yes, mother should not harm. So in this case, now when we take the active form, then for this, but then walidatun will become what?
File
Will become the file for it, yes. And the translation will be no mother
should harm.
should harm, yes.
Wow, the whole meaning changes.
The whole meaning changes,
Yes.
yes,
Wow.
through her child. Means that she should not be harmed. I will talk about it. Let me type it. Through her child. So when it is the active and the passive, the whole scenario changes. When it is the active version, means the mother is taking benefit of the child and maybe trying to harm the father. And when it is the passive version, it's the story is upside down. Then the mother is being harmed, or is the father or the family members of the divorced man.
Sister Samya, your voice is cutting, Samya.
Maybe because of the internet, because you see we have so much problem of internet in Pakistan. Subhanallah. Okay,
It's
I'll try to
breaking.
explain again. I'll try to explain.
It's clear for me. So
It's
maybe,
clear for me, sister.
maybe Api, your side is a little.
Maybe it can be sometimes from my end, or sometimes it can be from your end, because Subhanallah. Okay, so I was saying that, okay, the scenario that is being talked about here, the context of the ayah or the previous ayahs before this, it is Surah Al-Baqarah ayah 233, that when a divorce took place between the husband and wife, and there is a small baby and the baby is on mother's feet. So now what is the conditions that, um, the continuation of the breastfeeding, they are saying if the two of them, the mother and the father, they both agree, then the mother can feed the child for 2 years. But if they do not agree, there isn't a mutual agreement between the two of them, then they can feed for less than 2 years. So it's basically upon their agreement. But in some cases, what it is that obviously the mother is in a condition, she has a genuine reason. Maybe she has family pressures or she has a disease or whatever. and she is not able to continue feeding the child, then what is it saying? That she should not be harmed through her child. So let her be, do not harm her with the child. And if it is the other case, like there is a problem, maybe the father is not able to provide for or find another person to feed the baby, or maybe the baby is not accepting the artificial or the bottle feed, then in that case the mother should not harm through her child, like she should also be accepted. And what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants both the mother and the father to keep the interest of the child in the first place, and keep their whatever resentment they have between each other aside when it comes to the upbringing of the child. So this is the same ayah. This is the beauty, that the same sentence can be used in the active form and it can be used in the passive form, and then the meaning of it will change. One last thing, yes, we can do, inshallah, we can have. This is an ayah from Surah Yasin. All of us, we know it, and it's very simple. We read Surah Yasin most of the time. So the ayah says, فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُمْ إِنَّا نَعْلَمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. So the word we have to discuss it, yusirruna. So who is going to identify what are the root words and which family it is?
This is family 4, and the root words are letters are seen, raw, raw.
Sin, ra, ra, right. So sin, ra, and ra are the root words. What is going to be the Sarf Sagheer, if you can quickly tell us?
السر يسر إصرارا فهو مسر.
Very good.
سر يسر إصرارا فهو مسر.
Al-amru minhu?
Will be sirra.
No, al-amru minhu asirra.
Asirra, asirri, asrir.
Okay.
والنهي عنه will be لا لا تسر لا تسري لا تسرر.
Tusrir. وظرف منه?
مسر.
Yes. Okay, alhamdulillah. So if we do the Sarf Sagheer from it, so seen, ra, ra in family 4 means to conceal something or to hide something. We'll quickly do not all of it, but just today we will do the past tense Sarf Sagheer and the present tense Sarf Sagheer. So what happens that we see a shadda in the first 5 sighas, and when it comes to the hunna version, then it's going to be the normal form. We will go through it. So we said that it's going to be seen rara and it's going to be asarra. So asarra, then huma form will be asarra, asarru. Okay, this is normal, and we see a shadda throughout in these. Let me just. Okay. Then when we comes to the here form, again we see a shadda, asarrat, asarrata, and then when it comes to the hunna, then it's the normal. They are splitting up. The two roots are splitting up. In the normal form, what do we get? We get aslamna. So asradna, and from here the whole problem is gone, because now it's going to be on the normal pattern. So asrarta, asrartuma, asrartum, asrarti, asrartuma, asrartunna, asrartu, asrarna. So only in the first 5 sighas of the past tense we will see the shadda, the two roots will merge, but then from the hunna form it's just going to be the normal self patterns. It's not the merging of the two roots. This is clear to everyone?
Yes, Jazakallah.
Yes.
Okay, then this is the present tense we have to do, and that is the last thing for today, inshallah. Yes. So when we come to the present tense, we see the shadda in all the forms, in all the sighas. Only we will not see the shadda in the hunna and the antunna form. So yusirru, yusirrani, yusirruna. Tusirru, tusirrani, yusrirna, yuslimna. So from yuslimna, it's again the normal form, the shadda open up. And because this is present tense, so we see that first row has taken a kasra, so it becomes yusrirna. Again, the two roots will merge from anta, tusirra, tusirrani, tusirruna, tusirrina, tusirrani, and tusrirna. So hunna and antunna, only the differences in the hunna we will see yas beginning, and in antunna we will see the ta beginning, and then the rest of the word is exactly the same. And ana and nahnu will be usirru and nusir. So this is the present tense. Is the present tense clear to everyone? So all the sigas will have the shadda, but only the normal form we will see in the hunna version and in the antunna version. If there are questions, you can quickly ask, and then we will end the session, inshallah. There are no questions. Okay, the homework I will give you, like I will give you some words, and then you can practice the surf families, because the more you practice, the more these surf tables will become clearer to you, inshallah. So let us end the session. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله.
جزاك الله خيرا.